Um, hey guys, today we will be covering The Fires of Heaven, part 3. Yeah, without further ado, let's just get started straight away. So in this part, we are going to be continuing with Rand's storyline, and they finally reached the Korean land, and yo, these Isle people are just star shocked right now. They're seeing rivers, like they are seeing water, and water is very rare in the Isle Waste. Yeah, they're seeing a lot of things that they will probably never see in their whole lives in the Isle West. So it's very refreshing to see the Isle people act this way. So it's kind of nice, Another thing is that Kuladin, he's been leaving a lot of bad trails. Like he's been leaving towns destroyed with no survivors, and it's pretty brutal what Kuladin is doing right now. And what's it called? All of the clan chiefs, like they don't want to help these tree killers or Kyrians, but like Rand, he intends to save the Korean land, and he says that we have to help them. And if anyone is to object what Rand had said, they will be hanged, including clan chiefs. Like, yo, Rand is not playing around. Anyone who refuses to do what Rand intends to do will get hanged. And later onwards, we get to find out through a wise one called Sorella. She's a wise one that kind of scared both Aviendha and Egwene when Aviendha asked Egwene to tell the wise ones that she does not want to bed with Rand anymore, because Aviendha is like literally had enough of like being with Rand. I don't know why. It's just she's continuously like, I don't know, getting frustrated. And yeah, so Sorella had then said that Rand needs to be hard because that's what the clan chiefs needed, because over time they were just too used to being like leader, blah blah blah. But then the Khan, he needs to show proper authority. So, and also later onwards, we get to find out that Elaine also feels the same way, that Rand needs to be this way in order to, be a proper king and to be a proper leader. So Aurelia also had told Aviendha that she had someone in mind for her marriage, apparently. So, like, she didn't mention who it is, and so I'm not sure who the hell she wants Aviendha to marry, but like I said, after when we get to later chapters, it's a bit different when you think about it, but we'll get to that in a bit. Now, let's move on to Egwene's point of view. Now, Egwene is in Tel'aran'rhiod. I think she accidentally fell asleep, so she wasn't really meant to be there that early. That's why when the wise ones saw Egwene there, they were like, wait, what are you doing here so early? So, okay, normally Egwene does things when she's not meant to do it, but I think here is an exception because she fell asleep. Anyway, so before she actually met up with the wise ones, she saw Elaine talking to Birgit, like Birgitte. Is that how you say her name? Birgitte or Birgit? I'm not sure. But Egwene got very suspicious. Even I would get suspicious. I thought only Nynaeve was able to talk to Elaine. Birgit. So now it's interesting to see Elaine also being involved. So I guess we'll find more about that in the future. Now, we also get to find out the reason why Nynaeve didn't come to this meeting is because she had a fight with one of the people in the circus act. Like, yo, Nynaeve has been fighting now, or Nynaeve is going crazy, man. And apparently Nynaeve had apologized after the fight, which is a big shock. Nynaeve apologizing, like World War 3. Like, Nynaeve apologizing is like the end of the world. Like, what's going on? But yeah, I guess it's nice to see some character development. That's always nice to see. Now, the meeting between Egwene, Elaine, and the wise ones, it was pretty much a summary of what happened, like, with Elaine and Nynaeve and what's happening with Rand. They were just giving each other information and so on. And later onwards, Elaine and Egwene met up in the White Tower secretly. So, like I said, Egwene, man, you're not following proper orders, but still, you have the audacity to give Nynaeve orders in Tel'aran'rhiod. I guess it's kind of a two-way thing, Egwene is pretty strong in the world of dreams, so I guess that's okay. But she almost did get caught, and we'll talk about that just in a bit. So Egwene asked Elaine about Birgit, like, what are you doing with Birgit? And same thing happened with Nynaeve. Like, apparently Birgit made both of them promise not to tell anyone. So Elaine said, I can't tell you, you just have to trust me on this. And also one more thing, once their conversation finished, Egwene went into Eliza's room to do more research on what's going on in the world, and there's been a lot going on. We know that Pedronile has been summoning White Cloaks back to Andor or Amador, whatever the capital is. We know that there's a lot of stuff happening. We know that, Elida plans to build like a new wall or a new palace. I don't know, there's been a lot of plans, and pretty much nothing is working for Elida. Like, nothing is working for the White Tower. That's like the main sort of news. And here's the thing, Then Gawain, I think Gawain, was it Gawain or Galad? I think it was Gawain. Gawain came out of nowhere in the World of Dreams, and Egwene was just like, what is going on? And then somehow the scene switches to the Two Rivers, and in that scene, Egwene and Gawain are married. By the way, was it Gawain or Galad? I think it was Gawain. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Gawain. Gawain and Egwene were married in the Two Rivers, and they had a kid. And I was like, what is going on? I thought Egwene had like a thing for Galad or something. But we know that Gawain has a thing for Egwene, so it's like a three-way thing. Like, god damn. And one more thing is, Egwene saw banners of the wolf and the eagle, the red eagle and a wolf banner. And she said, wait, what is going on here? Even me, I still don't understand why that happened, because it kind of makes sense. Because Perrin did take over the Two Rivers from... what's it called, the White Cloaks and the Shadow Spawn, so, and then they did put up the banner, so wouldn't that make sense? Because she almost got trapped in that specific area or whatever was happening. I'm not sure how, because Mogadin was there and she almost apparently trapped Egwene, and she even, what's it called, admired Egwene's strength in the World of Dreams, but Egwene had just escaped. And like I said, Mogadin doesn't care about anything but Nynaeve, Elaine and Birgit. Like, she has personal grudges against all three of them for some reason. She doesn't even care about Lanfear right now, who she is currently sharing the World of Dreams with. So we know that Lanfear is also doing her thing in the World of Dreams. So like I said, Tel'aran'rhiod is not a safe place, and you have people like Egwene just sneaking into Tel'aran'rhiod, even Elaine and Nynaeve to an extent. Like, it's not a safe place. So if I were them, I will stay clear, but of course I'm not them. So we know that Tel'aran'rhiod will get a whole bunch more action in the future. Now, let's move on to Siuan's storyline. So they came to this town called Lugard, and Loghain, this guy is gone. He is depressed. He is sad. He is devastated. I think the effects of being gentle is finally getting to him. Like, he just lost every bit of fire that he had in himself in the previous part, and now Siuan pretty much took over. Was this Siuan's plan all along? She knew that this was going to happen, and she was patient with it. Yo, Siuan is one scary, creepy lady. Like, she knew all of this, like, mad. So Siuan led everyone to this inn, and this inn had a whole bunch of Aes Sedai. Like, the only Aes Sedai's name I remember is Sheriam and Anaya, and yeah, like, these other Aes Sedai that did not support Elaita's, what's it called, rule over the White Tower. So they all made a group, and now they're just staying at this inn and doing nothing. That's what Siuan had said. You guys are just doing nothing here while Elaita is just taking dominance with the White Tower and so on. Before we actually talk more about that, these Aes Sedai initially did not notice Siuan or Lian, because apparently once you get gentled, you just don't look like an Aes Sedai anymore. Like, your physical appearance just completely changes. So they only noticed Min, and they were like to Min, why did you bring Loghain and two random girls here? Like, don't you have anything better to do? And then that's when they found out that those two random women were in fact the previous Amulet and the previous Keeper. But at the same time, all of these Aes Sedai did not give a damn. Like, they were like, okay, you have been gentle, so you are no longer Aes Sedai, so you are no longer used for us. And then Siuan and Lian try to, make arguments that they can be used for them. They still have, the networks of the Blue Arges and blah, blah, blah. They can be useful to overtake the White Tower again. And that kind of convinces Sheriam and the group. And one more thing, Lian came with an idea how they should make their own Armelin seat. And that will really break the One Tower, because you can't have two Armelin seats. There's going to be one at the White Tower, and there's going to be another one where all the Aes Sedai who does not support Elaita, and normally every single Aes Sedai are sisters, and now you have two different groups. It just doesn't work like that. So yeah, this is like corruption at its best, and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be very nasty. It's gonna be very dangerous. It's gonna be very good. I cannot wait to see how this whole Aes Sedai Armelin seat group plays out, and the overall fall of the White Tower. This was actually one of Min's vision, how she saw the White Tower just, getting destroyed. So this is probably what she saw. We also get to find out that Gareth Bryn is nearby, and when Siuan hears about this, she was so embarrassed. She was very, very embarrassed, and Sheriam noticed it, and then she made Siuan spill everything out of what happened. And yeah, when Gareth Bryn came, yeah, we could just see Siuan hot face, her cheeks are red, and yeah, she just did not want to be there. And yeah, that's actually when we found out that Gareth Bryn literally chased them down because Siwan broke that oath. It was mainly Siwan's oath that he was mainly upset with because her oath was so powerful. And yeah, like I said, they take this oath thing very seriously, especially Gareth Bryn. And like I said, Gareth Bryn right now is quite vulnerable. There's waters everywhere, there's Aes Sedai everywhere, so they kind of needed to come up with some sort of agreement. The Aes Sedai gave Gareth Bryn a proposal where he leads an army for them, and he pretty much works for this specific group of Aes Sedai. And Gareth Bryn agreed to 3 conditions where he commands them, he leads them, he recruits everyone, he promotes everyone, and they ended up having an agreement. And one more thing is, when all of this stuff finishes, like, I think the Aes Sedai were like, since you still want Siwan and you want her to, you know, fulfill her oaths, after all this is finished, you can have her, or you can continue right now, because at the end Siwan was doing his laundry and she was not happy. And yeah, even though Min is kind of part of this, she literally gave everything to Min. Like, yeah, Siwan does not want to be no laundry girl. One more thing, Min also gave Siwan another vision. She has to stay close with Gareth Bryn to stay alive. So that's an interesting vision. Like, what does she mean staying close? Like, how close? Like, did she mean getting married, or did she just mean by staying close by him? Like, how close did she mean? That's actually quite interesting to see. Okay, one more thing is I forgot to mention is one thinks that Rand is in the Aiel Waste, so, and now they are gonna send a few Aes Sedai into the Aiel Waste, so yeah, this is just like a loop that is not meant to connect, so that's actually crazy. Now, this part, bro, we move to Kadyr's point of view. Kadyr, the dark friend who's a peddler. So through him, we get to find out that some of the Aiel people are actually dark friends. Whoa, that's actually interesting. I need to keep an eye out for every single Aiel name I come up with now. And bro, I have no freaking idea who might be a dark friend with the Aiel people. We also, okay, this part was really sad, man. Isandre came in, she was completely broken. We know that she's getting flogged by the Aiel. We know that she's getting, what's it called, shaved by the Aiel, like her head's completely shaved. She is completely humiliated, embarrassed. She's broken down to small bits and pieces. She is gone, and basically her task is to bed with Rand and try to get as much information as she possibly can, even with Natael, and both of them, especially Natael, he has not been giving her that much information. And of course Aviendha is like protecting Rand from her, and yeah, I feel very bad for her. Like, we can tell that she's completely broken, and Kadyr kills her at the end. He strangles her, and it reminds him of his sister, because when his sister found out that Kadyr was a dark friend, he did the exact same thing. And the crazy thing is, if Isandre had lived a few more days, she would have turned to the lights. Like, that's what Kadyr said, so that's why he had to kill her. It was pretty sad, because I feel like, yeah, she just didn't want all this, and yeah, I actually feel bad for her. Like, it was pretty sad. I'm gonna make a prediction. I think one of Rand's bodyguards, like, what's it called, the Fares Dendemai, or however you say that name, one of his bodyguards is a dark friend. Like, that's like the last place anyone can suspect a dark friend being, so that's why I'm saying one of them can be a dark friend. I think Sulin is a dark friend. I think she is a dark friend. I just don't know why. Ever since like Adeline like is not there anymore, she just came out of nowhere, so maybe Sulin might be a dark friend. We also know that some riders came from both Tear and Cairhien, and they had given Rand reports how Couladin is just destroying everything in Cairhien. And yeah, Rand just decided that he will be on his way to Cairhien to kind of sort everything out. So now we know that they are definitely heading towards the capital of Cairhien to help some of these guys out. Now, let's move on to this next part, which is actually quite interesting, I'm not gonna lie. So they come to this new town called Eonrod, and Rand finally has a room to himself in an inn. However, when he comes into his room, Aviendha was there just bathing herself. She was not wearing anything. She was she was just exposed right there, and then she didn't know that he would come that early, and yeah, she was very embarrassed. She just didn't like being there. She randomly opened a way gate and she ran into it, and yo, this was like Antarctica. It was just snow everywhere. It was just mad. And Rand grabbed a bunch of blankets and her clothes and ran after her. because he knows that if she keeps going at this pace, she will die. And this Aviendha, she's so lost, man. She literally fell down and she got stuck and she was freezing in like ice and snow, and Ran had to pull her out, and he literally channeled an igloo around them, and he literally channeled fire or whatever to keep the whole place warm. It was still not warm enough to keep Aviendha warm, so he tried getting blankets in. He even took his clothes off because, you know, body temperature helps and stuff. And he was having some very not so appropriate thoughts. So he was just talking about like the plan the whole time. And when Aviendha woke up, she said something about the rings, like the rings don't lie. And initially I was like, okay, these must be the rings in Ruiden that, you know, normal wise ones or Aes Sedai or accepted go through, like the 3 ter'angreals. Most likely saw a future with Rand in the future ring, and then she just accepted the fact. And then yeah, they had a very Aviendha wanted all that ooh la la, man, because she started it. She started everything, man. So yeah, they had an amazing time. And once they had consummated their future marriage, Rand wanted to get married. He's like, we can get married straight away once we actually get back. And then Aviendha was like, nope, this is the last time this is happening. First and last time, because I have committed some Tor against Elaine. So it's like against some Gia Tor thing, right? Apparently she like did something bad towards Elaine, and now she has to like not look at Rand in the same way just to repay that Tor back. I don't know. I still don't understand Gia Tor like that. I'm gonna just read and find out more, but I think I'm slightly getting used to this now. It's like committing a crime and you have to pay it off. Kind of, I think. Okay, so once their fake honeymoon ended, right? Rand opened their waygates, and this waygate led them to some Sean Chan country, bro. Because yo, there were a lot of Sean Chan soldiers. There were 2 Demanes and Suldams. There was even a Seeker there. And yeah, they just had to get past them to get to the last waygate. And this waygate was different. This waygate had like a different weave that was not placed by Rand. So, and this weave, right, it was made out of sardine. So only a male channeler can do that. Rand was very reluctant on who may have placed that there. So if you jump into it, you may either go into like a very bad situation or back to your own room. So anyway, right, they had to get past the Sean Chan first. So Rand and Aviendha had worked together to kind of shield and bind every single one of them. And Rand kind of wanted to save a Demane, but he couldn't touch that collar. Apparently, I don't know why, it was just too strong for Rand. But for Aviendha, it wasn't as bad. So I guess for people who use Saidar, it's more better compared to Saidin, I think. It wasn't explained in detail, so I can't make any conclusion on that. But I want to talk about these 2 Sean Chan people. One was like this noble lady called Lady Morsa, and then one other was like a Seeker. Lady Morsa had seen Rand in Falmar, and the Seeker was a bit confused, and then the Seeker started to ask Lady Morsa questions, and Lady Morsa didn't really want to answer those questions. And then I feel like she's going to be in trouble by the Seeker, because I think we have read about Seekers before, how they have some sort of power. I'm not too knowledgeable in this department, like this whole Sean Chan department. Hopefully we get to learn more about the Sean Chan. So they eventually, just manages to get through the waygates. And yo, one of these guards, right, he literally chucked a spear. It just came in the waygate, and Rand manages to just avoid it, man. So that was mad. And once they actually came into this room, Asmodean was just chilling there. He was waiting for them, and Rand instantly shielded him. So now we know that Rand does not still trust Asmodean. We also know that Asmodean told a bunch of maidens that Rand and Aviendha wanted to be alone, and apparently all these maidens were like spreading rumors about both Rand and Aviendha, and that kind of pissed off Aviendha. So she stormed after that, and when she did, that's when Rand and Asmodean had a proper conversation. And Rand asked Asmodean that he is not telling him enough because he never knew about that weave in the waygate and so on. There's a lot of things that Rand feels like Asmodean should be telling him. Like Rand feels like he shouldn't be constantly asking him questions. Instead, he should be getting answers. So Rand gave Asmodean until dawn to give him as much information as possible about Saidin or so on. So yeah, like I said, Asmodean is a very interesting character, I'm not gonna lie. Now, let's come to Nynaeve's point of view. Now, Nynaeve, bro, in this chapter, she's literally getting, oh my god, humiliated, man. She's in a circus act and Tommy's throwing knives at her. Like, I understand they need to do this to kind of live in Lucas' carriage or whatever. But bro, Calm is throwing knives at Nynaeve and she's like, God damn, I hate being here. Nynaeve is having the worst time of her life. And then Luca also wants Nynaeve to wear like some exotic dress. I'm like, bro, chill, calm down, Luca, man. Don't mess with Nynaeve. Just remember that. Do not mess with Nynaeve. And apparently, Nynaeve has like a black eye or a dark eye because she got into a fight with that Sean-chan girl. Saradin, like, what? Apparently Nynaeve like demanded answers about the Demanes, and this Sean-chan girl like threw a punch. Like, what is happening here? This place is wild, man, so wild. And if things could not get worse, Julian comes to Nynaeve and he's like, Galad is nearby, and yeah, Nynaeve is, she's just not having the best time of her life right now. We also find out in this part how Nynaeve really still cares about Rand. Like, she's been hearing stuff that Rand has been hanging people for not following orders. He's pretty much like a changed man right now, and Nynaeve only knows Rand as that gentle child from the Two Rivers, and she really is, worried about Rand right now. But, she still has to focus on what she needs to do, which is to lead everyone to that Aes Sedai gathering that she had found out in Elida's Rim. Now, before that, she met up with Elaine, and Elaine, she has an Adama with her the whole time, and she told Nynaeve that she thinks she can make one. Obviously, Nynaeve was like, why would you even do that? Like, that's a filthy thing, that's horrible. Didn't you see what that did to Egwene, blah, blah, blah. But Elaine was like, don't you see the point? An Adame is a ter'angreal, and if I can make an Adame, I can make a ter'angreal, which has never been done in 1,000 years. This is very big, ladies and gentlemen. If Elaine has the power to make a ter'angreal, imagine in the future if anyone has the power to make a sa'angreal. Nah. This is going somewhere, man. This is going somewhere. And that is where we end the part. Now, in part 3, I feel like the plot didn't progress as much as the first 2 parts, but we get to find out some cool, like, shocking moments, some cool character moments. Like I said, Nynaeve is just literally having the worst time of her life in this book. Like, this book is doing Nynaeve dirty, man, dirty. And like I said, Rand, proper leader now, hard and proper. Like, you don't want to mess with Rand right now. You do not want to mess with Rand. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this part, make sure to give me a big likes. Comment down your thoughts below in the comment section below. And of course, guys, if you still have not subscribed, make sure to subscribe down below. This story is just getting better and better. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video now. Take care now. Bye.